Chapter 5. Beyond the Tundra. The tundra stretched endlessly before me, a frozen wasteland beneath a ceiling of restless gray clouds. It was as if the world had swallowed all color, all light, leaving only white snow and the occasional black outline of distant trees. My legs burned with every step, but I couldn't stop. Stopping meant death. Stopping meant they would catch me. Behind me, Jared's guards were somewhere in the storm, their shouts faint but persistent. They were like wolves, hunting their prey, relentless and tireless. The difference was I wasn't prey. Not anymore. Run. Keep running. But running had become harder. The cold tore at my body, my lungs burning with every breath, my fingers numb despite being tucked beneath my cloak. The tundra showed no mercy. Neither did my pursuers. I gritted my teeth and pushed forward, each step crunching into the thick, unyielding snow. The wind screamed around me, tugging at my cloak, clawing at my exposed skin. My heart pounded in my chest, not from fear but from the effort of survival. She couldn't have gone far. The voices were louder now, cutting through the howling wind. I glanced over my shoulder, but the snowstorm obscured everything beyond a few feet. "She's just a kid," another guard shouted. His tone was almost mocking, as if the thought of chasing me was beneath him. A flare of anger surged through me. Just a kid. They didn't know me, didn't understand me. And they never would. The ground beneath my feet shifted, a patch of ice hidden beneath the snow. I slipped, falling hard onto my hands and knees. Pain shot through me, sharp and immediate. "No," I whispered, my breath visible in the freezing air. "Not like this." I forced myself up, every muscle protesting. The cold seeped through my gloves, biting into my skin. My cloak, damp from the snow, clung to me like a shroud. "You're stronger than this." The voice was familiar, calm and steady. It cut through the chaos like a beacon, grounding me. "Get up, Kaida. You can't stop now." The seer's presence was both comforting and unnerving. She'd been with me for years, her voice a constant reminder of what I was capable of, and what I had yet to become. "You think I don't know that?" I snapped, the words coming out sharper than I intended. "But I'm cold. I'm tired. And I'm alone." "You're not alone," she replied, her tone unyielding. "I'm here. And you've faced worse than this before." Her words stung, mostly because they were true. I'd faced isolation, rejection, fear, but this was different. This wasn't emotional pain. This was survival. I pulled myself to my feet, my body trembling from the cold and exhaustion. The snowstorm raged on, but I wouldn't let it win. I wouldn't let them win. The storm eased slightly as I reached a rocky outcrop, a natural barrier against the wind. I crouched there, my heart pounding, and pulled my pack from my shoulder. Inside, tucked beneath a layer of cloth, were the letters. I ran my fingers over the parchment, the words etched in my parents' handwriting. Apologies. Regret. Promises of a better future. But where were they when I needed them most? The letters were my only link to them now, fragile and fleeting. I didn't read them, I couldn't. Instead, I tucked them back into the pack and tightened the straps. "They don't deserve your anger," the seer said softly. "Don't they?" I shot back, my voice trembling. "They let this happen. They let Jared send me away like I was nothing." "They were afraid," she said simply. "Fear makes people do terrible things. You know that better than anyone." As I stood, I felt it again, that warmth deep inside me, spreading outward. It was subtle at first, like the faint hum of an instrument tuning itself. But it grew stronger, coursing through my veins. I looked down at my hands. Lightning danced across my fingertips, a soft, crackling energy that illuminated the dim light of the storm. The green in my eyes had begun to shift, deepening into a crystalline blue. I caught my reflection in a patch of ice, my breath catching in my throat. White streaks had appeared in my red hair, stark and vibrant against the fiery color. "Is this me?" I whispered. "You're evolving," the seer said, her voice filled with an almost maternal pride. "Becoming who you were always meant to be." The guards found me again as I moved toward the edge of the tundra. Their figures emerged from the storm like specters, their armor glinting faintly in the pale light. "There she is." I didn't run this time. I stood my ground, the crackling energy in my hands growing stronger. "Go back," I said, my voice steady despite the pounding of my heart. The lead guard sneered and raised his weapon. "Or what?" "Or you'll regret it," I replied, the faintest hint of a smirk tugging at my lips. He lunged, but before he could reach me, a bolt of lightning shot from my hand, striking his weapon and sending him sprawling into the snow. The others froze, their confidence wavering. "You still think I'm just a kid?" I asked, tilting my head. Every step I took after that felt heavier, not from exhaustion, but from the weight of realization. Every day I spent in that palace, I whispered to the seer, I wondered how it got to this. How fear could twist people so much that they'd rather destroy something than understand it. The memories were vivid, my classmates' stares, their whispers. My siblings, once my closest friends, avoiding me out of fear. My parents, their love tainted by uncertainty and guilt. "No one chooses this kind of life," I continued, my voice growing stronger. "We're pushed into it by fear, by pain, by a world that doesn't know what to do with us. But the ones who do choose it, they see something no one else does. They see what's beyond the pain. They see freedom." The tundra was ending. In the distance, I could see the faint outline of mountains, their peaks sharp and jagged against the horizon. Beyond them lay the edge of the continent and the next chapter of my journey. "You have the power to change everything, Kaida," the seer said. "I know," I replied. This wasn't just about survival anymore. It wasn't even about revenge. This was about taking control of my life, of my destiny, of everything that had been taken from me. I wasn't running anymore. I was moving forward, toward a future I would shape with my own hands. And if the world wanted to stop me, it would have to try harder.